Hey, no, I don't break. I don't break. Let me just make sure that is working both on Twitch and YouTube. YouTube feels slow. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. All right. Let's keep. Oh, so kind. And your favorite artist. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. I know you were talking about Naya. She's sleeping. She's very tired today. We went to the gym. And yeah, I mean we are going to the gym 5 or 6 days a week. I just told her, hey, we are going to in July to Spain, the beach with my family. We need to catch up with some stuff, so we are now on fire. Yeah, she's resting from physical and mental work. But yeah, we are very tired, lastly. But it's cool. All right, so let's keep going. Let's start. Today is gonna be mainly focused on the dialogue system, narrative, and the quest system that is gonna include the June quest. I was thinking how to do these streams without spoiling. So there will be two cases when it's a narrative, like narrative relevant, like a plot twist or something important. I won't do this live, or I won't do like a placeholder, like a placeholder conversation that is not related to the real story, and then offline change it and so on. But also I can also do like more like filler conversation that it will happen in the island, and they will talk about your previous run, the good things you did, the bad things you did, making jokes with the different characters. And that is something that is not quite spoily-ish or spoilery, whatever is the word. So there are two things I got now. One is a conversation with Carol, which is the scientific director, or in other words, the only scientific brain there that can actually develop the DNA suits. And the other is a conversation with Hermes that is outside. And Hermes basically, the main plot of Hermes is like he misses coffee so much. He's a coffee addict, and there is no coffee there, so basically he has a bit of abstinence because of coffee. And the guy is just obsessed, and is trying. It's a bit jokey, but cynical. And yeah, I mean, they are in an apocalypse where humanity maybe ends there, yeah, if ancestors take over. But the guy still needs coffee, so he's gonna try to manipulate, or to, between jokes, try to convince Chris or Demian or June to hey, you see some plants, just bring it in here. I'm trying to find a replacement for coffee. And the guy is just trying to find a replacement, and is experimenting with plants. And obviously Demian has a bit of ego for this kind of conversations, and Chris is a bit adult and serious about this shit. So poor Hermes is not finding a confident to bring back some plants from the mainland. So that's gonna be a kind of side story that is gonna evolve with the runs, and the main storyline. You will see these characters evolve, which each run they will do a bit of chit chat with you, and comment about it. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with testing first Carol, which is here. Again, all the models are placeholder, at least the faces are all placeholder, but I want to make sure that I'm in a good spot to start. I'm guessing Jung would do it for the right price. Yeah, Jung is that kind of person, right? It's gonna do a bit of smuggling. Okay, I'm gonna test this with Demian. I'm doing a procedural system of cameras. The problem is the height of Demian is like, I think, 10 centimeters taller than Chris, so some cameras are gonna be a bit off, but I want to test. So, okay, this is, I'm gonna press F, and in theory, what you're gonna see is a cinematic that works procedurally, meaning that, yes, there are some handcrafted cameras, but what camera is going to be picked depends on what line is going to be spoken and how long is the line itself. So I want to see how that feels and if I need to do some adjustments, basically. This line, for example, I want to split it into parts and maybe change the camera between both lines, because as you can see, the camera is holding more time because the line is very big. Very smoothly, the conversation ends. I'm not gonna flex, but this is already a very cool system. The transitions are smooth. I mean, this is gonna do another conversation as Carol, but he's not Carol. But anyway, the thing is, it works. It's repeating the same conversation, but with another character. And as you can see, the cameras are more or less the same, but oh, I need to change this. And then I also can stop the cinematic, and everything should just disappear, and the subtitles should be gone soon. If not, okay, I need to fix that because the subtitles are not... Oh yeah, they are gone, okay. They just need a bit of time. I can't stop any cinematic. This is gonna be Hermes. I got the dialogue there, so I'm gonna start preparing this one. Yeah, the song is very cool for that room. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's perfect. So what we're gonna do is to prepare the conversation of Hermes. Okay. Hey, XM God, how are you? Oh, I didn't post the shit. Sorry, I'm stupid. I thought I did it, but apparently not. I didn't put that on Discord. I saw people and I thought, okay, I already put it. So this should... Okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You saw the progress yesterday. I keep going in that direction. Today is way more polished, and I got a system where I can put dialogues very quickly. It's gonna fire a cinematic that works procedurally, meaning that I don't need to do a cinematic per conversation. The cameras will move around depending on what character is speaking, and that's pretty cool. So the thing I'm gonna do now is to take the conversation.
Damn, I'm on fire.
Oh, let me check because someone has following, and that's hey, thank you. Wow, that's gonna be hard to pronounce. Ashel XND or ASHL XND. Thank you for following. So we are gonna take this character and we are going to polish the conversation. So here I got a component. Ash, okay. Ash from Ketchup Village. Why? How is in English? Ash Ketchup, no? From Pokemon. Anyway. So here, for every single line, the system has Ketchup, not Ketchup. I'm pretty sure it's a translation from Japanese issue. I'm gonna go to Google. Ash Ketchup Japanese name. Satoshi. No, Ketchum, the dudes dubbing said whatever, right? It has nothing to do. Like Son Wukong, then the Son Goku, which is Son Wukong, that means monkey, blah blah, or whatever. Okay, I understand the similarity. As Ketchum, the original name, Satoshi. Massive balls, dude. Oh man. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You played the previous playtest or oldest one? The old. There are many playtests. The one in April, I think, was the last one. Okay, so we are gonna take the conversation of Hermes and we are gonna put it actually in one of these characters outside because I want to test that the things work as expected. So I'm gonna take this dude, I'm gonna put the system here, and I want to make sure. Yeah, okay, perfect. How was it? Hardcore? You died a lot? How was the trauma? We are getting now, by the way, talking about the playtest. One of the objectives for the next playtest is to have a better onboarding. And that means also narrative. So people know what the hell you are doing, better onboarding, better tutorial, better understanding of the different mechanics, systems, and game loop in general. What are the mutation builders, how you apply a mutation, what happens when you come back to the island, how you can improve your character. All those things will be explained better through the narrative, through the characters. So that's a bit why I'm a bit oriented into the narrative aspect. It's harder because when we do public playtests, the things become a bit easier over days, but once we go back to the private builds, things get harder because the people that is playing the game now, they play it quite a lot, so obviously things get harder, including for myself. The purple DNA, yeah. Did you kill Fastius? The first boss in the temple. I think that's the tipping point of becoming. Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair, that's cool. So you saw the second biome when was work in progress. That's cool. I mean, I feel always relief once a player kills first time a Fastius, because if you do that, means that you already get the idea, and that's cool. You found maybe a mutation that worked better and things like that. So yeah, it takes time, but I think it takes time because the things are not very well explained. So all these conversations that happen on Discord about advices, or I saw even in the replacement, the alternative of YouTube in China, which is Bilibili, I found a fucking ton of videos about how to defeat a Fastius. Obviously I use translator to understand, and there are a lot of fucking crazy tips. The idea is that it's great that community helps each other, but when you, for every single comment on Discord about how to defeat a boss or how to do something, there should be like, not all the help, but the characters should help somehow to give some clues. I'm not talking about the characters talking in the middle of the combat like God of War or Tomb Raider, but more like when you go back to the island, you should have a mechanic that tells you, hey, think about mutations, hey, experiment with this. We need a bit of that. That's the part was missing. I think the problem was not to make the game easier. The problem is like many things are not very well communicated. The example that is a bit outrageous and crazy is, I think people don't know how to knock down an enemy, and that is true because it's not explained anywhere, and that's sad. It's a bit communicated in the UI in the bottom left, but that's not cool. So all those things will be now in the tutorial, all those things will be teach, all these things will be a bit more integrated with the game. Okay, so let's take this guy and let's make sure that has the proper animation blueprint. I'm gonna take the female because just the female has a look at system, and I need that. And here's the conversation. So, hey, back from the dead again. Okay, let's make sure that he has a name. His name is Hermes. And this is not gonna be the guy, but because this is Cromer, it's another character. But I don't have yet the models. Hey, back from the dead again. And here is where I can choose directly the shot. In this case, because the one who speaks is Hermes, the shot is to shoot. I can do again any camera, but I'm gonna look to the pawn, which is basically this guy. Obviously, ego trip from Demian, which is in this case the hero camera is a hero player line here. Not just back I made progress. I think the ancestors even felt it. Flexing, Demian flexing a bit. And as a hero, I can put the hero camera. Here I can do a general shot. Well, okay, let's put, for example, just to make it simple, a pawn shot. So we look at Hermes again. It's not a hero line. Dude, all this for a planet that doesn't have a decent espresso. Next time, maybe you can have a look to some plants here and there. I imagine Demian's answer is not gonna be quite empathetic or sympathetic, and it's getting a bit passive aggressive here. He just flipped. Special dude. Oh, so you want me to bring plants to get high? And this one, let's make again hero. So we look at Demian again. It's a player line. No, not exactly, just a caffeine replacement. This one could be split into lines actually. Yeah, this one can be split into lines. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna insert something. And actually, let's put this in this order. No, not exactly. Caffeine replacement. So this one can be, of course, I don't have audio line. I don't have yet the recordings, but hey, can you come up with the lore and everything? Yeah, that is actually the most natural part now, is to write down the narrative and the characters, because that was done before the game itself. Like everything is already written. there's like a fucking like the story could be, not exaggerating, like 10 fucking games from the bottom to the end, because it's a mix of different screenplays I wrote in 10 years ago, plus new stuff I wrote like 4 years ago. So I just know everything. I know like 20 to 30 main characters, so I'm just picking the ones that I think they are more interesting to tell. So if I one day I need to put 8 characters, I can just put them all one after the other. Like literally, Hermes, I know I know this guy since he was a kid on Earth, and all these characters are already used in other pieces of screenplays I got, that they are inside the same universe. So it's kind of very, very easy to me, and that's fun because there is no like, and also feels how to say, like not easy, like enjoyable to do it, because there is no risk of committing huge plot holes, because the main story is more or less solid. Maybe you can have some weak parts or some boring parts or not very interesting parts, but at least you know that you are writing in a base that has a beginning and has an end. And well, it doesn't have a full end, but definitely has different acts. I mean, thank you for that. I think it's not like incredibly impressive. Like if you think about the screenwriters, they write like 100 scripts in 1 year. I just wrote some screenplays because I have a background on VFX and film. So to me it was like something I did some weekends, or you know, in all these years of working in short films and stuff, I was writing stuff. So now it's just putting the things together and building the game with this kind of entire narrative and story. By the way, XM God and Artemis, if you're around, you are gonna fucking love June DNA suit. It was going to be in one direction. I don't have here the sketch, and I want Naya to polish it a bit more. But it is fucking fire. It is fucking fire. It just changes the expectations of Demian and Chris. The only thing I can say and spoil is every DNA suit and generation of suits, like I don't remember the name. Ellis is the first DNA suit, and Janus is the second DNA suit, and this one is actually the quest of Pygmalion, which is the 4th DNA suit. Has to be more polished and more aesthetically perfect than the previous one, and this one is like damn, yeah, it's fucking cool. And also because now the characters will have this kind of mutation affinities, I think I want to have what I mentioned, like 2 mutation affinities, 2 mutation neutralities, if that's a word, and 2 mutations rejections, or like punishing or punishments or whatever. But I want also to have one specific trait, not an ultimate, not a bullshit like that, but something small, but that makes the character a bit more unique without losing the symmetry of the characters. I don't want to be super asymmetrical. I don't want to do a hero shooter roguelike, but I want just to have something. It could be like a double jump, it could be like being able to stick to the walls, it could be being able to hide yourself, something that the DNA suit is oriented. It could be to have immunity against something, it could be to have the dodge is a teleport, something that is just one single thing, while the rest of the stuff is more like your setup of weapons. And that unique thing, it has to be the identity of the suit itself. So this is very early, it's not 100%, but I feel just when I saw the 3rd DNA suit, it's like, holy shit, this needs to have something. This needs to have something. And I'm not sure yet what, but just by the looks, it's like, yeah, it's more agile. This is more agile. Yeah. but again, without losing the symmetry. I'm obsessed with the idea that if you play 200 hours and you want to bring a friend to CRETE, you should be able to play in almost full symmetry in the first 30 minutes. You know what I mean? I don't want, oh, you need to grind this so we can start doing things together. No. You should be always like ready for that. Okay, so the guy has a name. The dialogue is more or less ready. This is the end. This line is a hero line. Angry Demian there, for sure. This is a general shot. This is a pawn shot. Okay, I think that's it. I can go and test it and see what we get. Cinematic. Also need to fix the cinematic in the so this is the character in theory. So far everything is smooth. Obviously there is no acting, there is nothing yet. Perfect. Smooth as butter. And then you can add also a bit of little animations per dialogue, per line, so you don't need to build all the cinematics from scratch. You can add different emotions, again, without being stupid like Sims games, but you need also to consider that you can't do, you know, all the cinematics constantly for every character, and that's how you do in games many conversations. You have different moods, you know, and you just place the different moods. I just slow down the camera here for the bottom, but I'm gonna speed up very soon. No one is working here yet. But the good thing that I'm very happy now is that the characters look at you in a more organic way. Okay, and the other thing I wanted to improve is the conversation of Carol. Has a very long line that I want to split into as well. This one, for example. So I'm gonna insert a new line here. This is a player line. I'm gonna copy this part. I would say this is a general shot, like so. And this one the same way. I think I can split this in two. we go Pong, General, Hero. Yeah. We take this sentence that is more descriptive and we put this as general shot, and we put this one that is a bit more intimate, and we go for a character shot here. We can see how this feels, but this is gonna be the jazz of doing most of the conversations, like seeing how the cameras feel. Maybe at some point I add more cameras here and there, but right now they are a good starting point. There's something that bothers me between camera changes, and it's a bit of super step. I think there are too many general shots and they are not actually needed at all. I think one general shot is more than okay. I think this is okay. So only one general shot right there to see both characters time to time, and that's the only one. And now I'm gonna focus in the June mission because we need to put June in less than 11 days. We need to make sure that that shit is done. mean, there's some stuff to polish here and there. Oh, why the UI didn't disappear? Okay, so I found this bug before. So if I do this, UI goes back, then I cancel. Then I do this, disappears. Oh, and then appears again. Okay, there is a kind of situation when I do quick talk. Okay, that needs a bit of polishing. Because I'm doing the conversations very quick, it just starts to stack. If I wait a bit, yeah, that is gone. And then everything is clean again. And actually this is June, so, and this is the tutorial part, so June will send you to the tutorial. So the thing with June is that characters will have the option either to have a conversation or a conversation that can give you something, like a quest or a storyline that leads to something that can change the gameplay. So in the case of June, okay, so the characters need to open a conversation. Once a specific story event is reached. Okay, so every single persona component, I call it persona component, which basically is a blueprint that takes care of all the personality conversations of the character. So let me just clean up this quickly. This is the camera selection. And this is the ending conversation logic. All the dialogues, the latest shot. This is the loop that basically what does is to remove a line of dialogue, and actually I should put this here. For every line of dialogue repeats can remove all this shit. When there is no more lines, it's gonna do this. This is the text it's gonna select depending the has a name, is a player or not. All this works as expected. All this works as expected. This is the begin play that gets all the references. I can get the begin play to other places. I'm gonna split this into parts because I don't want to have this connected on both sides, so I can get this, all this, all this. I don't need this, I will remove it soon. Okay, so I can put all this here. I can delete this, it's not needed. I'm wondering why I did this. No, not needed. Yeah, okay, I see. Because in the past I think the dialogue started when you trigger something. Okay. So all this is gonna be called begin play. And let's make sure this is visible with the bubble. Remove the tick. And we make sure that things are correct here. All this is not needed. All this shit can be dead because I'm not using it anymore. Maybe in the future I put it back, but right now I feel like it's okay. This shit can be gone. This is the dialogue system. Which basically is gonna fire the line, the first line, and then it's gonna go automatic. Okay. This is the loop after finishing one line. These are the checks. And this is what calculates the length of the camera. So if it's 200 words, 16 seconds, 20 200 characters, 16 seconds, 20 characters, 3 seconds. I feel like I can reduce the maximum, or more like, I'm not gonna make a entire sentence that is that much, but I can say this could be perfectly there or there, and this could be 2.5. That's my feel. Okay. Now that this is clean, this is the part that is a bit, I need just to concentrate and think how I'm gonna do this. So every character will have an array of conversations. The conversations will be defined by your state and your progression. So we can assume we need different data tables, right? We need one data table per character or one data table per... Okay, I'm thinking, Sometimes developing is this shit. Getting something on my head first, understanding that makes sense before jumping and doing something that I'm gonna regret. So June will have like non-quest related conversations and quest related conversations. A conversation is an array of dialogues. So I can do a Okay, I need to make a variable that is entire conversation. That conversation needs to have a category. That category needs to be, is a regular conversation or is a... Okay, I think I got a more or less something in my head. I wanna start doing it and see how it feels. So I need to have a blueprint structure that is gonna be a conversation. This conversation structure is a dialogue line, each dialogue line includes something like this. Something interesting here is like this is fucking tricky. Actually, yeah, there is something important here to update. I'm not very fan of this, but I think I should do it. So every character needs a different line. So the dialogue line is gonna be now an array. If the length of the array is 0, okay, we move forward. This is gonna be broken now, most likely in the persona component, because here, when we extract the line, this is broken. So what we are gonna do is to, if the length is 0, we get this. Hopefully this doesn't explode. Okay, that was a kind of easy fix so far. And this is not correct. This is equal 1. Select a text So we put this here. If this is equal 1, get the only line you have. Now, if it's not equal 1, means that there are more than 1 lines. Here, we are gonna do the following. I want to, at the beginning of the interaction, we are gonna save here player character name. This is gonna be safe. I'm not gonna call it again because we got it already here. Keep a bit of space. And the reason I do this, I can remove now this one here. I can take the player character name there. I can put it here. I can remove this shit. I can remove this. And now we got the character player name, and because it's now constant, depending on if it's Demian, Chris, June, Sinclair, these ones are not gonna be included, but depending on who is the player, it will it's easier. No. Let's be smart. So Demian line is 0, Demian, Chris, June, Sinclair. And the beauty of this is also applies to not just the main character talking, but also the other characters. So that makes the things a bit more interesting. That's a little fix I needed to put, and now it should work. Because now we got dialogue lines is an array, and everyone will have that. Now I think every character should have this not inside the component but outside that. And for that I'm gonna do a conversation structure. Which is an array this is fucking hard, eh? Okay, a conversation only needs the dialogues, nothing else. I can add an ID. So this conversation will only trigger if a specific ID is met. Progression ID, I would say. So if a progression ID, this dialog exists. If not, this dialog doesn't exist. Okay, now another nested structure. We are gonna make a structure and this structure is gonna be called CRETE persona structure, which is gonna include, if I don't get crazy in the process, a conversation structure array, all the conversations he can have, or she, conversations, and to start very simple, who are you, the name. Then we decide if a conversation structure can have includes progression. In theory, by default, no. Progression ID required. Progression ID granted. So potentially here could be starting with one only inventory, no, data table handle row item gratem upon progression. It's convoluted, but which by default we have inventory, and this inventory has this. Then these characters have a mission. But what is a mission? Yeah, a conversation can trigger includes progression ID granted. This is should be a integer. Includes mission. Item granted mission success, and here the mission. So what I'm doing basically is most of the conversations will be like fillers, like you can talk, and also depending on different circumstances. But some conversations can trigger not like a quest, more like a mission. In this case, unlocking a June character. So in this case, I'm making sure that after the conversation that you have with June, it will show a pop-up with what you have to do, what you need. Then come back, and then it will trigger the next conversation once you have all the items that are needed. And that is included in the mission itself. So here I can say again, handle data row, and we go here to mission, and we go here to missions. We put nothing. I think that's a conversation. Oh, explosion. Maybe, yes, no, potential. I was just saving, eh? I think I was saving. It doesn't look great. I think it's a potential explosion. If that's the case, I'm gonna have a 3 minutes break. I heard the sound of trying. The fan tried. Annoys me that I maybe lose this variable. Yeah, this is a frozen. God damn it. Yeah. Is it really? I mean, it's annoying because it's fucking OBS taking. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's have a 5-minute break and we'll be back. Annoying though. No, that's what we get. Back in 5 minutes. I should put a banner here of be right back. Anyway, see you now. Okay, we back. Where the hell? Okay, this is one window. Okay, why is not showing this one? Okay, we got it. Yeah, I didn't lose anything to be honest. So I got the name and the conversations. So the persona variable includes the conversation. So now the idea is to create a data table that is going to include persona structure, and this data table create personas. In this data table, for each row, I can maybe put the name first. So the name, for example, Jung, and then the conversations. Each conversation it will have not a fan of how this is distributed though. But yeah, it needs to be in this way. Just bothers me that too much nested shit per line. But it needs to be like this for many reasons. Maybe I can optimize it in the future. Right now it's gonna be like this. So June, let's say there is a dialogue first. To keep it simple, four lines. Hey Demian. Hey Chris. I can also put hey hero, and then if something is between this, just take the name. Hey Demian, hey Chris, hey you, hey Sinclair. Hola. Just to... Hey, wait. Sorry, this is June, so it's not gonna say hi to June because it's herself. Cool. Now I just trying to contact some people about motion capture for the conversation, the citizens, not like combat, more like a generic movement and stuff and shit like that. I need to think about it. That can be really cool and very helpful. Okay. Hola Sinclair, blah blah. Item granted mission success. Okay, this one doesn't have a mission, includes no mission, it's just a regular thing. So this is the first line of the dialogue. This is the first dialogue. Oh, sorry, conversations. This is the first conversation. I should change the order of this. So I think I'm gonna put the dialogues in the bottom. So it's easier in the data table to identify that conversations. So you put it is progression required 0, progression ID granted nothing, doesn't move forward in the story, includes mission no. It doesn't include any item when you talk. This actually should be in the other place. Anyway, dialogues. And this here is where we have all the different lines. And here answer, a normal answer. Hey, what's up? Need to go. Just super simple. This is a hero. I mean, I'm gonna just for the sake of testing. This is a hero shot, player line, very quick answer. Okay. Damn. Always busy, huh? And this is a pawn shot, and then we add a final line there that is gonna be hero. Actually, it's gonna be the end shot, player line. Yes. Well, yeah, here, I mean, again, testing, but it's true that Demian Jung is Jung. Sinclair doesn't matter right now. Let's put 3 points. So this is a conversation of Jung. Then we're gonna add a second conversation of Jung that it requires an ID progression, which is the tutorial, and that's gonna be 1. I need to think this again. Okay, so this one progression IDs required needs to be an array. The reason of this is because some potential dialogues only will trigger under a specific number of circumstances, not just one. So you need to finish the tutorial and do this. Even they are linear, they could be not linear, could be like branches and they are not related. Like you need to get this key, but also you need to visit this place. They can happen in different order, so they are not linear, but you need to have both of them in order to have that line of dialogue with a potential quest. You need to make sure that both IDs are met. So it's not a single variable, it's an array. So for this example, being honest, being clear with this shit, this is not gonna be a number. This is gonna be a string. And the reason of this is because I can, when I'm coding, I can read what is the specific event just by the name. It's a bit riskier, I could do an enum, but I think a string is more than perfect. And this is also a string. So it gives this and it needs this. So now if I go here and I go to conversations and I go to the second conversation, what IDs are required? 2. Tutorial. And most likely ten kill a 10 kills run. Progression ID granted. I mean, this is just and I need to add a exclusion list as well. exclusion ID list, meaning that if you already pass a specific progression, you shouldn't fire this line of conversation anymore because it's already a thing of the past. So if I go to the persona and I go to this conversation, the exclusion list should add, in this case, the opposite of the one I grant. And the one I'm gonna grant, it is Pygmalion started. So if Pygmalion started is granted after this conversation, means that you accepted the quest, or you already know about the quest. So it won't trigger anymore. This includes a mission. This doesn't include an inventory item, the conversation itself, but includes a mission, Pygmalion. And now the dialogue. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Pon camera. Hello. And this is where I started to write the limbic missions. No need of a second line, but I think dialogue should be called sentences, to be honest. Or lines. Pygmalion started on the lines. Do you think you can help us in your next expeditions. And this later should trigger the window with the mission here. And this one has the requirements, and this one doesn't have requirements, so it should fire directly. Okay, we can try to add that persona to the CRETE interaction. What the fuck? What? Oh, it's persona component. I call it persona component, which kind of makes sense somehow. Okay. So, what do we need here? Basically, there is a conversation here that has to be chosen. So this conversation is gonna be no, let's think with a fucking head. Yeah. Data table. Hey, what's up? Persona. Create persona structure. No. Needs to be a handle row. And this is persona, and this persona is gonna be based. I get it. Create personas. Oh, okay. So the first persona here is Jung, and Jung is called here now. I can put it, whatever. So let me get this right. I just need a I just need a line that is empty. Why can't actually yes. Yeah, it should be like a null option, but somehow okay. So let's make a new line here. It's gonna be the first one. And this is gonna be none. Of course. Empty. Okay, so this is called equal empty. If this equals empty, don't do anything. Actually, if this equals empty, actually don't do anything now. If you don't equal empty, we are going to make sure that your conversation comes from here. Hey. Oh, of course. Ooh, okay, I see. This is the tricky part. Okay, so far, yeah. That's crazy, dude. We got the name from here. And whatever happens later. The tricky part is to choose the ID depending on okay, I know what I have to do. In the persona, which is based on these conversations, I need to do another conversation array. Key conversations. Or more like progression conversations. And contextual conversations. And these contextual conversations, it will be related to how you did your last run, etc. So if I go to personas, I got here a chilling conversation and a progression conversation. I want to copy this progression conversation and put it here. I guess I did it. Yeah. So I can delete it from the progression conversation here. So now we got one contextual conversation. And one progression conversation. That includes a mission. And this is only June. Okay, so now in the persona component we got contextual conversation. Most likely the order will be trigger first a progression conversation. If there is no progression conversation, fire a contextual conversation. But if there is a context, if there is no progression, will be fire this directly. If there is a progression, will fire the progression, and once you talk, it will come back to context. But we need to figure out this little by little. If it's a contextual conversation, I don't need to take an array, I need to take a random array item. So far. And we take the lines, and the lines go there. And this goes here. Now, we want to make sure that this is exposed, the persona. And we want to make sure that the default persona is empty. So we can still design conversations without needing a persona, basically. Fillers or whatever. Okay, that starts to be a bit more alive. We can test this, for example, in the staging. We can pick, for example, this character here that she has already oh, interesting. Oh, it's this one, okay. She has already, in theory, a conversation there, but I want to use a persona instead, and this persona is gonna be June. So if this works, it should actually talk like June. Yeah. Russian Demian. Fuck it. So why you even talk, right? Well, that's Demian. Now we need to decide this thing with the IDs, where a specific conversation will trigger an ID event that will be saved. And I did a progression system already, but I don't know where the fuck I put it. CRETE progression. Okay, so I'm gonna save um, all the progressions in a string on the save file. And this is gonna be a progression IDs. Bang, done. Meaning that get current progression, it will literally get this is an array. This has to be an array. So if we go here, we just, let's say, I mean, get current progression can be just basically not saving the, I don't like to save the variable there. I can just call this anytime. Yeah, whatever. This is more like how the character can change and stuff, but every single player will trigger different conversation depending on their custom, their unique progression. So it's more like I can pick actually from the progression component, can be called actually from the persona component. And then I can call this and see what ID will trigger what. It is fucking hot in London, man. I can't fucking believe it. 30 degrees. I'm gonna open the fucking window because I'm dying. 1 second. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I mean, it's a bit better, but it's, I don't know. I guess it's the computer as well, but all mixed together is fucking annoying. Okay. Progressions IDs. Yeah, I don't need to save this statically because this can also lead to problems where I save this. Doesn't mean that it's updated. I keep playing and Is this even, wait. I can see this is actually, okay, so let's do a very quick, okay, let's go to a very quick test. Let's go to personas and the conversation here. Okay, Pygmalion started. Fine. So what I want to do is a new persona, let's say Hermes, name Hermes, that in his progression conversation grants. No, excludes no. This progression ID grant. I'm gonna say just tutorial, for example, tutorial. So when you talk with this dude, you get tutorial. We put some lines, intro, hey moron, that's the first line. The answer is a test, eh? You moron. And then this is a hero line, and we look at the hero, we put a new line, yeah, you're right. And this is a pawn, and the ending line oh, what I did, no, the ending line is okay, it's a hero line. Get the fuck out of here, clown. Okay, just passive aggressive Demian. This is a hero shot, no, it's an ending shot. And we got the conversation at Hermes, triggering that. I need to do some changes because now the persona component, yeah, this needs to be select, and if the length of progression conversations is more than 0, in that case, okay, yes. Joder. What? Oh. What the fuck are you talking? Oh, I see. Yeah, whatever. It's a random item, but it's not a random item. Anyway. The line, if it's more than 0, this is true here. If not, this is false. Then you pick that conversation. Now, the interesting part here is this is tricky. So is empty. Don't do anything. But this is empty, don't do anything. But if it's not empty, promote to variable id to grant. So basically this is the progression. Now what we want to do is, once the conversation ends, I'm thinking, what if you skip? This should be the same. Ah, fuck. Yeah. Did I bind? Okay, so I need to bind this on a stop. So when the conversation ends, one way or the other, this one is false. We will have a custom event, grant ID, and this is the fucking crazy part. The persona component needs to call the get hero, get a pawn. I mean, if I'm calling this from let's cast hero master. Do this guy has a progression component? Not yet, so he needs. No, it's not here. Get player controller, cast hero, cast CRETE player controller. The controller doesn't have this neither. So CRETE player controller should have a new component, which is the progression component. Don't crash, motherfucker. and this is, we are gonna get yeah. Okay, so this is where we want to do the things better, because the CRETE progression we are going to do a function here, get progression IDs, and this is gonna basically call get current save file. This should be true. If it's not true, return. I don't care. It's gonna be true. And then we got here the progression IDs, and we are gonna return the progression IDs like this. Can be actually, I think, pure. Get progression IDs from the save file. So if now I go to the persona, get progression, get current progression, no. It's because it's not refresh. It's public, okay. So what is your problem exactly? Yeah, yes. Get progression IDs. Okay, I'm gonna keep going tomorrow. It's hardcore. But yeah, it's getting the progression IDs, adding that, this is granting. So it's actually not exactly this. It's more like get progression IDs and save progression ID, which is gonna be get the current save file, this just cast everything, and we are going to add unique, and this will have this, not pure. Save. Yeah, it's tiring. It's a lot of mental. Mental energy. Yeah, no, it doesn't help. Piss me off. Yeah, it's something like this. Save the file. What ID? So If I go here to the persona, save, progression ID, it will save this ID there. In theory, I can put it like this. The chances of I'm gonna do a blind like literally without checking more. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna add let me just change this so I can see. Okay, the one with pants, gray pants. And you are gonna be a persona, and you are going to be Hermes. If you work, that would be fucking crazy. Okay. This is Hermes. Hey moron. You moron. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Now, when this ends, damn, so far it's working. Tutorial is saved. That's impressive. Imagine that actually I made it in the first. If I see here the in this file progression ID tutorial is done. It's done, it's working already. Now the question is, June. I'm gonna finish this shit, fuck it. Because I'm very close to got it. Now, June has a requirement, so I need to go to the persona component, and in order to give me the quest, has to be two things, not just that there is this length, so it's gonna open this up, it's also from this let's run from this we need to cast the controller. This is gonna need to be done in for multiplayer. It's gonna need some massage though, but yeah, that's the difference. Multiplayer games are like, to develop they are like 3 to 4 times slower, if not 5 or 6 times slower than a single player game. Get progression IDs is contains this array by any chance. It's not just that this is length, it's fuck this shit. I mean, I fucking hate this. Whatever. IDs required. So it's not just that this and this and true. So in order to trigger this shit, you also need to be able to have the tutorial done. Let's see what we get here. Who the fuck is Jung? You are Jung? You are Jung. Nice, it's working. It's talking about the mission. And when I finish this, it's giving me the Pygmalion started, which means that now, if I go to my progression, I have two IDs, tutorial and Pygmalion started. Yeah, good point. No, not yet. I don't have problems with June being streamed. Nah, it's okay. It's gonna be a bit farther. I think it's gonna be after the next playtest, when the things become a bit... Nah. I need to think about it. But there are some moments that I don't want to show. I don't want to show neither the third boss, if we make it on time. I don't want to show the third biome. This part of June's story happens between Hephaestus and the middle of the second biome in terms of items. And that's something people played, so there is no like a deal breaker of something crazy at that moment. Because to put it simple, I don't know but basically the first mission is here, and it's not like Limbic is growing a bit impatient. This is basically, this will trigger again, conversation of June will have the casual conversations until you do like a relevant run. Now I call it like a run where you kill 10 people, you did the tutorial, so it means that at least you did one run. And let's make sure this is a run that is a bit meaningful. 10 kills is nothing, but you know, you will be surprised that many players don't get the 10 kills until, you know, 1 hour or 2. So you get your 10 kills first time, and then June will trigger a new conversation when you are reborn, which is Limbic is growing a bit impatient. Don't get me wrong, you are doing an okay job, but time isn't exactly on our side. Limbic is already looking for a third DNA hunter to speed up the recollection process. I think that's a typo. Problem is, there is no third DNA hunter without a DNA suit, and well, we are still missing some crucial components. I've led you a shopping list. Next expedition, keep an eye out there and bring the items back. Oh, about dying, blah 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 blah. Don't bother worrying about your dead bodies. Limbic doesn't. They are just a treasure on the battlefield. Your consciousness, experiences, memories, sometimes, and well, inventory is what counts. And these are securely encoded in the seed and carries over with each reconstruction. Pretty convenient, right? Anyway, you got it, come back with the goodies. Die to grow. Die to grow is the... Die to grow, grow to die is the emblem and the salute of limbic new existence and new transhumanism fucking cult bullshit. Yeah, they use it for everything, but they use it like hi Cesar, you know. I mean, they are a bit low-key supremacist, not exactly, because most of Limbic they are actually not using the DNA suit, but they are building the superhuman basically somehow, you know, with genetics, which is fucking crazy. Quite convenient for these days, but and yeah, they always say they die to grow, grow to die. Yeah, the most cultists, or what is the word called? The most fanatics, they will always end with that sentence or start with that sentence. But the thing is, like Demian, especially Chris, I would say, cringe. I mean, like can't stand that too much. Well, June can't fucking hear that shit. But I mean, you will see more. You need to play the game. You need to play the game like for real. Like I'm not talking about the game CRETE. Like DNA hunters need to play the game, the politics, because there is not too many things that can save humanity in that little island. So you better be aligned with things that you don't like, because otherwise no chance. Even if you are a hunter and everyone depends on you, without DNA suits nothing can happen, and somehow you have a lot of trust every time you die that you will be returned, because they can just pull the plug, bye bye, you know. So that's the interesting philosophy, and the interesting, like, you will see how many, not in the basement but in the base camp where not everyone is limbic, or you know, not completely aligned with limbic, they will do like weird questions, like they won't say they grow to die, die to grow, but they will tell like, yo, you know, like impressed and surprised, is asking things like, do you feel like you are you? You know, like curiosity and how it feels, or do you remember things? And that's very, very interesting, because actually they don't remember everything, but they got like more like a emotional experience embedded in the process. So even if you don't have, like, for example, if I close, not even closing my eyes, if I need to remember things of today, I have like visual pictures. DNA suits don't have this quality, but it encodes and encrypts the experiences related to that, you know. So it's kind of weird, because they don't have all the memories, but they actually have the experience already embedded in the genetic code of the next DNA suit. So all that dilemma will be very visible more in the surface of the island, where, you know, regulars, survivors, farmers, you know, engineers, that they are not limbic, directly limbic, they are part of the colony, they are like freaking out what the fuck limbic is doing. Because they know that they are sending these warriors, these DNA hunters, to bring things back to the island, to fight back and to grow. But that no one sees any of the suit. No one see a DNA hunter coming back swimming from the water. So obviously that creates a lot of question in the people, that they see these spots going to one direction, but they don't they don't go backwards, so they are all the time with that kind of and by the way, that's another story, that the pods that you see now, they are just placeholders. In theory, they throw a or kind of organic weird pod made of flesh that includes the DNA suit inside, so you're like a meteor. And no, don't mention not Dragon Ball again, because in this case it's more like it's a pod, but it's more like an organic bullet basically that just throws there and lands, but never comes back. You are just, it's one direction basically. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Yeah, about progression. That all these things I'm completely okay, because it tells more about the lore, but not a progression of the lore. It's more like you start right there. It's the context, it's the present. The future starts to be crazy. I would say from Biome 4, Biome 3 already got a very interesting point, but I don't think I don't want to put in the playtest. Yeah, nothing quite revealing more until you don't get to Biome 4, 5, and you start to connect the dots and you see more things. But so it's not like a big deal. I believe. But if I find a cinematic that is a bit crazy, most likely what I thought is, rather than holy fuck, most likely more than having a 2 versions of the game, which is a lot of work from my side, I building this packaging, compiling everything 2 times, I will add a setting on the settings that is gonna be streaming friendly or like spoiler free. And if I do that, most likely I will skip all the cinematics, or most of them, or don't let you know. The thing is, yeah, I'm not sure how to do this exactly, because I'm putting us in the side of the players. I'm not sure if I would like to play the story in pieces and coming back and things like that, and then replay with, you know, like. It happened to me with Path of Exile, that I played again and now I don't want to play it again until they don't finish all things together to enjoy the entire story as expected. So that's maybe why that setting of spoiler free allows backers and players to play now without seeing a single cinematic, but also that also most likely will stop some progression lines, because some of the progression, as you see right now, depends if you talk with a person or not. So I really need to think about all this. I don't know how to solve it. Some people want to play whatever is the latest, no matter what. Some people is like, okay, I want to play the game, but don't spoil me shit. A mix of both, so it's always a bit complicated. Another option, if you make the game fun enough that you have, for example, 3 game modes, like the towers, another tower mode and another tower mode, you can just stop progression in the main game mode and focus in the 3 towers for the backers, and then when you do a patch for the story, it's a full patch that everything is a bit more polished in one stack, you know, like bang. From Biome 1 to 3, all the narrative is done, you know, and that feels good, because it's like, okay, I want to play this, I can play it now. Than pieces per build, you know. Some people talk, other people don't talk, and also can be a bit problematic, because now that you have like this kind of anchor points of progression, you know, maybe a character needs a progression that at that moment doesn't exist, but later exists, but you move forward because you did another thing, and then you do a patch where there is another branch of progression that you didn't count, and now this is gonna bug this quest because you didn't do this progression before when it was a moment to do it. You know, this can be, when you start to do builds like this, it can be problematic, because it's not a linear progression, it's like a tree with many branches. So you put a branch here that is new, and this branch has dependencies in other side, so that can break the entire fucking progression. So I'm a bit not scared, but I know this could be problematic. So I don't know. I'm just because you asked me this question, I'm just now trying to figure out how to do this entire progression thing. It's a bit hardcore because it's a roguelike. I shouldn't care about this, but I noticed that the more I do the game, is a roguelike with vitamins. It's not just roguelike. There is also like a kind of interwing story there going on that has some kind of points to keep in mind. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm super happy that actually I did this because now we can play around with progression and put these dependencies and opening up the quest, and I got the cinematics working. Let's play one more time the cinematics. Just because I like it. If I don't explode, because maybe I explode right now. Nah, so far it's going good. I need to put the umbilical cord though. And the cinematic is gonna be a bit longer, but you can skip it, so. Okay, I broke this because no one talks. Okay. There's a sexual tension there. What a beautiful love story. Right there. Cringe, Damien. Predator. Okay. Police. Okay, let's very quickly investigate what I broke, because I definitely broke something. Wait, maybe it's... You are empty. You are Carol. And you have a beautiful conversation, just fucking... Oh shit, I see. Because I moved this to array. Ah, amigo. Okay, fair enough. I need to be super careful with this because I can do this in two ways. One option is 4 conversations per character, depending on what character you are playing, but that means to repeat many elements all the time. Second option is each dialogue line has 4 different answers, or 4 different lines, but the problem with this one is like the conversation is gonna be virtually constantly the same. both can happen. The problem is it's a lot of work. Anyway, I will think about that tomorrow. I was thinking now, like, yeah, the conversation of Chris and Carol will be different with Demian and Chris, and Jung and Chris, and Sinclair, and Sinclair and Carol, and some of them will be the same. But I think every character should have a unique, in length and pace and everything, conversation. So I think the idea of putting here 4 lines is not the way. I think it should be one single line, also is faster, but every single one has a different conversation, and if there is only one conversation written, means that I'm okay using the same conversation in every character. Like you meet a citizen in the island that is not relevant, hey, careful, okay, whatever, doesn't need to be unique. Okay, I will do that tomorrow. So that's all for today. Good night, evening, afternoon, morning, and see you soon. Bye bye.